Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Mark and this is the Black Country Man Cave. So Lidl have been absolutely smashing it with the Parkside tools lately, and this Sunday's haul does not look like it's going to disappoint. So I've grabbed us a selection that we're going to review, and I'm hoping that we're going to find some absolute gems amongst them. So without any further ado, let's get down to the table. Right guys, thank you for joining me at the bench. So let's start off with the Parkside electric stripping and crimping set, the Bluetooth ear defender set, the Assorted hook set, digital caliper, electronic tacker and nailer, Cob LED lights, and some 3M masking tape. So which one should we do first? That one, because I've wanted to set of these for ages. So let's do some unboxing. Right, standing knife time. It's my favourite part of the day. Now, first impression, that feels really robust, that does. That feels tough as hell. Now, the one thing I am a bit concerned about is that it does say size M for medium, and I've got rather a large head, so let's see if they fit. 1 second. Right, so the moment of truth, do they fit my big fat head? Yes! They do! I was shouting! Right, so I've had a quick look through the instructions, guys, and there's a quick start guide there and a main guide, and if you really want you can download the QR scanner and you get a full set of instructions, but in fairness you don't need to do that because they are pretty detailed and pretty clear. So okay, so let's take a quick look at them then. So first of all, the charge port is here on the bottom and it's a USB-C port, and then the input jack, or the aux jack, is down here so that you can plug in auxiliary items like a phone or something and play music through that. So on the side of the headset you've then got the main control buttons. So you've got a minus, a Bluetooth, a power, a play pause and a plus. So the center button is obviously the power on, so you press and hold that and it turns on the headset. This also is used to connect your first Bluetooth device, so you press and hold that button for 3 seconds. A blue and a white light flash intermittently. You go into the settings on your, let's say your phone, look up your Bluetooth devices and search for a device, and it will come up with PKB5B2, and then you obviously click on that, connect, and it connects within a couple of seconds and it's all done, job done. So one of the useful functions of this headset is it can actually connect to 2 separate Bluetooth devices. So if you press and hold the Bluetooth symbol there, it will then press and hold it for 3 seconds. It will do the same again, it will start flashing, and what it actually does is disconnect the first Bluetooth device that you've connected. So let's say you've connected your phone, it actually disconnects that momentarily, and then you do the same again. So let's say you're using an iPad, you then go into the settings on the iPad, go to search, find the PKB5B2 again, connect, and within a couple of seconds it then automatically connects to it and job done. And then after you've done that, it then automatically reconnects the first device, so you then got 2 devices connected. It's really simple, really clever, and works an absolute treat. So one of the other functions of this is it's got a volume control, which is your minus and your plus button there, and also you can then use the plus button. If you double tap that, it will skip track. So if you're listening to Spotify, you don't like the music that's come on, double tap that and it will skip it for you, which I think is brilliant. You can also answer phone calls using the play pause button. And I have done a phone call with this. I've tested it out. It does work. The audio isn't great, I'll be honest, but It does work, so if you are working away and somebody rings you, then you can literally just tap that button and answer the call. So pretty clever. Right, let's test out the Bluetooth functions. So I've got my phone. Let's get Spotify up. Press play. That's pretty decent audio, that. I've got it up full volume. It's not the loudest, but it's more than loud enough. I suppose setting the limit stops you putting it up too high and damaging your hearing. But that's pretty good, that. And then the button on the side, the plus button, I've lost it. There it is. So yeah, if you hold that for just a split second, it skips track. And that's pretty good. Better song on now. Let's do it again. They're pretty easy. Once you've worked out where they are, they're pretty easy to find. Minus doesn't do anything. Okay, pretty good. Pretty impressed with that. The sound quality is pretty good. It's not the loudest, but you know, it's more than loud enough. So another cool function of this, which I've just discovered, if you hold down the play plus button there, play pause button there, I'll get it right in a minute. So I'll try again. If you hold down the play pause button there, it will actually ring automatically. If you connect it to your phone, it will actually ring the last person that you spoke to on the phone, which is pretty clever. So if you've been having a conversation with somebody and you know, you carry on working, and then you suddenly realise that you need to speak to them again about something else, you don't even have to take them off. Feel for the button, press and hold it for a second, and it'll automatically ring them, which I think is pretty clever. Right, let's turn off Spotify. Now, one of the other useful features of this is it's got, I'm going to have to look it up because I can't remember what it was called. It's in the other one. Bear with me. Right, so it's got conversations function. So what it does, there's a speaker somewhere here. I'm going to guess it's that. And what it's doing is it's picking up background noise. So if I'm wearing them, like so, as I speak now, it's picking it up in that microphone and it's actually playing the audio into the headset. So it's actually playing back my voice to me, which is a bit weird when you first try them on. But what it does do, so those of you that wear earmuffs on site know that if you've got really good ones on, it's really difficult to hear somebody behind you talking, especially if you're making noise. What this does is allow you to hear what's going on around you, but when you, let's say, are using a chop saw like this, they're pretty loud and you want to be able to have full protection when you're using them. So somebody can be talking to you, and I have tested this and it does work, it's brilliant. As you turn the saw on, the noise of the saw isn't loud enough to set it off, but as soon as you start cutting, it instantly mutes this and stops the noise getting, and then they just become a normal pair of ear defenders. I don't know if this is a standard thing on all of these type of Bluetooth things, but that is brilliant. Brilliant. For 30 quid, these are brilliant. I'm really impressed with them. Right, what else do they do? I think that's about it really, but yeah, they are brilliant. I'm gonna get a set of these for work as well. These are gonna stay in the man cave. Gonna get a set for work. Like I said earlier, they feel really robust. The only thing that may break, and these have a tendency to break on most ear defenders, is this piece here. I do have a habit of breaking my ear defenders, dropping them and stuff like that. But yeah, really impressed with these. I'm really pleased. So that's a definite thumbs up for these ones. Brilliant. Right, let's move on to the next one. Right guys, so moving on, we've got the Cob LED light. It has 3 light modes: a max brightness, an energy saving mode, and a flashing light mode. It has a max brightness of approximately 500 lumens and an illumination time at max brightness of approximately 5 hours, and the colour temperature is 6500 K, and it does come with the batteries. So let's have a look. Right, let's have a look. Let's get it open. Oh, there's the batteries. Instructions, probably don't need them. Oh, 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 don't like that. Well, that sounds like it's breaking every time you move it. I have to say, it does feel flimsy. Very lightweight plastic. Yeah, right. Let's get a screwdriver. So I'll get to use my Parkside screwdriver set that I reviewed in my last video. Let's see if they're any good. I do like these screwdrivers. They feel lovely in the hand. There we go. Oh, that's hinged. That's nice. It's got a hinge on it. Oh. And I guess that's the power button. So, oh, that is bright. Christ, just give me sunspot. Okay, so yeah, so you press the button for off and on, and then hold the button and it goes to 50% dim, and then hold it again and it goes to flash mode. And that just sounds like it's going to break as soon as you move anything, but yeah, screen feels alright. It feels fairly sturdy, but yeah, I've got a feeling this is going to break pretty quickly. Yeah, it feels okay. Moving on to the electric tacker and nailer. Now I do use air compressor style tackers and nailers in the man cave, but obviously hauling about a great big compressor onto a job site is not practical, so interesting to see if this is any good or not. Let's have a look. First thoughts are, it's very compact. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger than that. Comes an instruction book and a small selection of nails and tacks. Not a lot in there, but I'll get you started. I've had a quick look through the instructions, and the operation is actually pretty simple. There's a button there that you squeeze. I will say you've got to squeeze it quite hard to get it to unlatch, and that is quite stiff, but it does work. And then to load up your tacks, you simply drop them in like that, close it, and then for your nails, there's, I don't know if you can see it, so there's a groove on the left hand side, and you can also see down here there is a pin symbol, that's what I'd call it. So you pop that in on the left hand side and then close that up. So let's get a bit of timber. And I'll plug her in. So on the side there is a button like you'd find on a drill, like a direction button that you'd find on a drill, but this is the lock button. So at the moment I'm going to say that's locked, and then to unlock it you push that one in, and then yeah, so it's got a lever there which I would guess is the safety lever, so it won't fire without that pushed. Don't try this at home, folks, but yeah. So to fire it, push down. Can we see that? It's gone in, it's ever so slightly sticking out, but not bad at all. There we go, the second one sunk properly. I have found with nail guns like this that you do have to apply a little bit of extra pressure just so that it makes it sink properly. So one thing I will say is it's denting the wood. Again, I bet you can't see that on camera, but it is making an indentation in the wood. So without so much pressure, yes, if I don't put the pressure on, it's not firing all the way in. So yeah, certainly this is no good for real detailed trim work. I can't even say that. It's no good for detailed trim work, but for maybe doing fabric where you can't see it. Let's try the staples. So it's ever so slightly proud again. It's really hard to show on camera, so I can just feel that, and it has made a bit of an indentation again in the wood. Let's try a bit more pressure. So yeah, as long as you push down, give it a little bit of extra pressure, those two have sunk quite nicely. So yeah, this would be good for maybe doing some upholstery on a chair where you're not going to see the finished pins. I don't think it would be much use for anything else. One thing to mention, let's unplug him. One thing to mention is that these tacks here, so these tacks here are different to what I would call standard ones. So these tacks will fit in most air compressor nail guns, and obviously as you can see they're completely different, so I'm going to have to source some of these. I'd be interested to see how easy that is, but yeah, it's not a bad little bit of kit. It's not particularly loud either when you fire it. I didn't need to put any ear defenders on then, or didn't feel the need to do it. Here we go. If you look on the top, it actually shows you, get it in focus, so that it shows you the what do you call it, the tack symbol, and then it shows you the nail symbol there. So yeah, not bad. How much was it? I think it was only £9, I think, so that's pretty good value. The only thing I would say is could do with more of these in it, but yeah, that's going to get some use. Right, on to the next one. Okay, so let's try the Parkside 231 piece automatic wire stripper and crimping pliers set. So it's quite a nice little case. Don't know how long the little latch is, it feels quite flimsy. So I have actually got 3 of these already. I've got the work zone ones. I absolutely love them. But I saw this and I thought, oh, I've just got to try it, see if it's any good. Okay, so you get what looks like, I think that's just the guarantee. Yep. And yeah, a very basic instruction set. It's literally just teaching you how to use the stripper at the end and the crimper and the ferrule crimper as well. Okay, so that's pretty useless. So if we get a piece of cable, this is, I think this is 0.2mm cable, pop him in. Right, I can't see any strands in there, so it has cut it quite cleanly. So I'm going to lengthen that slightly, because this is slightly thin for this size of ferrules and crimps. Right, let's try a ferrule. Okay, so you can probably just about see that the cable's right at the end. So then use one of these 3 at the back, so I'm going to guess it's the smaller one, and then pop it into the groove, squeeze, yep, and that should have crimped it. Yeah, that's got that pretty solid. I could probably pull it out if I really went at it, but no, I can't actually. No, that's pretty good. So that would then obviously go into a terminal block or something. Okay, let's use the cutter to take that off. Nice and clean cut. Alright, let's try. Let's try a crimp. So I always put it so the cable just pokes out, and then using that there, squeeze hard, squash it down. Oh, that's got that as well, yeah. I've had to double the cable over because it's not thin and not thick enough on its own to grab. I would have tried it off camera, but double the cable over and that's great. I mean, this is quite thin cable, so. But yeah, that's got that really well. That's not coming off. I actually do solder these sometimes because I'm a bit paranoid about them coming loose, but that's really strong. Yeah. Yep, that feels great, that does. Oh, that pulls out the way as well. That's a clever little trick. I like that. So let's see if it'll do some twin and earth. Will it cut it first? Yep, that was no problem whatsoever. Let's move that out of the way. In fairness, that was easy, and that is a very clean cut. I'm impressed with that. You can adjust the size of the size of the cable using that knob there, but to be honest, I found that they tend to work perfectly fine without any adjustment. But yeah, there's no dinks on that cable whatsoever on the inner cable, so that's great. Yeah, so that's pretty good. I'm impressed with that. It also does come with, they're really difficult to get out, but a little set of ferrules. I don't know if you can see them. Let me sort of open the bag up without it going everywhere. So you can just have, if you don't need it insulated, you just pop one of them on into the cable, crimp it, and it tidies into the cable for you. Not bad. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff in there, it's not going to last forever, but it certainly get you going. And these are really cheap anyway. Not entirely sure what the purpose of them is. I suppose cable management, I suppose. But yeah. Now they look like the heat shrink type to me, but I'll have to check on that. But yeah, for I think it was £9 again. Let me just double check. No, it was actually £7.99. Yeah, that's an absolute bargain. Again, really pleased with that. These do get a lot of use in my man cave, a lot of use. Right, move on to the next one. Right, so 3M masking tape. Now, I will say I use a lot of masking tape at work, and I have been having trouble lately with it not detaching itself from worktops. So I use it to mark out for my sinks and my hobs. And I'm finding when I try and get it off, it does not want to come off for the love of the money. So, again, it's 3M, so let's see if it's any good. So let's find the start. Where are you? There we are. Yeah, it's reasonably tacky. Ooh. That peeled off no problem. Right, I'm going to have to move without drop. Ooh. That feels quite good. Now, to demonstrate what I mean by it won't come off, if I pan the camera that way and that way. So this is tape that I put on when I marked out to cut out the hatch for my welding table, which is underneath there. And as you can see, and this is over a year ago, it will not come off for love nor money. And this is the problem I'm having at work, where it will not come off. So I need to test this on a plastic piece of worktop. But if it works the way it looks like it should do, then I'll be getting a lot more of these from Aldi. In fact, I'll be stocking up big time. But I might go and see if I can find a worktop and try it on. Another favourite tool of mine is the digital caliper. I've got one in the man cave, and again it does get a hell of a lot of use. It'd be surprising how many times you use it when you're making projects. Very thick instruction set. I think that's maybe because it's in 10 different languages, but so the case, I've got to say, does feel very cheap, but there you go. So open them up. I'm going to guess that is the battery seal thing. There we go. Off, on, 0. That's nice and smooth. And in fairness, these feel quite good. This looks cheap, but feels okay. Actually, that feels quite solid, to be fair. Just looks cheap. Let's see how accurate it is. Okay, so I've got my work zone ones out to compare. Now, I have had these for quite some time. I know that they're accurate. They have been tested many times. Okay, 10. And that is a 7.9mm drill bit. So it's an 8mm drill bit, it's ever so slightly undersized. 7.87 I'm getting there. Zero it. Can you see that? Yep. $7.89. $7.87. Yeah, so pretty accurate. They're virtually agreeing with each other. These are so accurate and so fine that even the slightest indentation in that will show up. So, and I can feel that that's quite rough. So there is going to be flat spots, etc. on it. So yeah. So this was $7.99, and I do use these a hell of a lot. So yeah, that's a good little price. That it does also have a locking knob on the top. So if you want to lock a measurement in, like so. So let's say 35mm. If I can get it close enough. So you can lock that now. And that will hold in place if you want to repeatedly check something. So yeah, so for $7.99 I think that is a bit of a bargain, and yeah, pleased with that. On to the next one. Right, last but not least is the Assorted hook set. I love these sets. They are so useful when you can open them. Okay, the case, got to be honest, is flimsy. A man ain't gonna last 5 seconds, that's gonna break. Yeah, but you get a decent selection inside. And they feel fairly good. So you've got hooks there and eyelets this side. You don't get a massive amount, to be fair, but it was only $2.99, so not bad value at all. So I'm now going to show you my top tip for actually fitting these. So if you've got a piece of wood like this, you could just try manually driving them in, and surprisingly this will actually work if you put enough time into it. But I can't be bothered. So, top tip. Get yourself a pilot bit. Pilot a little start hole. Now you can, again, just manually wind them in by hand, but that can take a while. So if you get another one, place it in your drill, lock it in place, put your drill on slow and hook it like so. If you slowly wind the drill in, it drives it in place. Top tip. It feels quite substantial for $2.99. Yeah, that's alright, not bad at all. Right then guys, to sum up, the electric tacker and nailer is only really going to be any use for very light thin stuff. Maybe upholstery, I'll have to try some of that because the tacks and the nails are limited to 14 and 15mm lengths. So yeah, not going to be doing much woodwork with that, it's too small. But for $7.99, still a bargain. The 3M tape, definitely a bargain. Going to be getting a lot more of that at $3.99. hooks. They're hooks at the end of the day, but again for £3.99, £2.99, not bad. The digital vernier gauge, yeah, feels alright, apart from the body feels a little bit cheap, but it still feels solid. So again, for £7.99, bargain. The light, oh, I hate that noise. I think it's bright, but I think the fact that you've got to keep putting batteries in and it only lasts 5 hours is going to get expensive quickly. I've got a sneaky suspicion this is going to break inside my toolbox within a month. We'll see, I'll let you know. But the absolute star of the show, oh sorry, electric wire strippers, £7.99, pleased with that, really good. Anyway, so the absolute star of the show has got to be the ear defenders. These are brilliant, really, really pleased. 30 quid, you cannot argue with that. The only bad point I would perhaps put it is that they only go up to 28 SNR, which is fairly standard and is perfectly acceptable, but you'd want them to go up to 32 really to give you really, really good ear protection. So Parkside, if you are listening, bring these out again, but if you can get up to 32, these will absolutely sell like hotcakes, I promise you, Parkside. Absolutely promise you, because they're brilliant. So thank you very much for watching till the end, guys. I've really enjoyed this again, and I'm going to be doing many more of them in the future because they're great fun. They really are great fun, and I'm getting some pretty decent tools out of it. So if you've liked what you've seen, please consider liking and subscribing. Please maybe drop me a nice comment down below. Maybe consider watching one of my other videos that will be up there shortly. And from me, Mark, in the Black Country Man Cave, have a lovely day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.